mind to take the life of the old man, and thus
rid myself of the eye.
forever. Now at this point,
You fancy me mad, but you should have seen me.
I use perfect precautions.
Nothing, no nothing. Every night, just at midnight, I turned the latch of the door and opened it.
Then I thrust my head in. I moved it
Slowly, very, very slowly,
so as not to disturb
the old man's sleep.
Would a madman have been so wise? And then,
When my head was well within the room,
I undid the lantern cautiously, and there,
a single ray fell upon I found the eye always open, so it's impossible to do the work.
for it was not the old man who vexed me. No, it was his evil.
Not him, but his evil eye.
One night, as I peered in,
The old man sprang up in his bed.
Who's there?
I froze, unsure of what to do.
Say so, say so, say so,
I
say so.
called to open the door.
Just a little slipper, until a light fell upon the old man's.
Aye, it was open.
The door opens.
Wide open.
I grew furious as I gazed upon it.
A dull blue with a hideous veil chilled me to my bones. There came to my ears.
Low, dull, quick sound, such as the sound a watch make when enveloped in cotton. I knew that sound well.
It was the beating of the old man's heart. The